What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the US, let me know what country you're representing. It's going down. Family, smash up the likes. Come out the gate smashing those likes up. Smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Put it in their face. Also, share the video, comment, put it in their face. I need to know where you're coming in from. Where are you coming in from? What you're representing. It's very important that you let me know what country you're representing and what's going on in your country with this coronavirus. I was one of the first people to talk about this coronavirus. Like a lot of people were trying to avoid it. I spoke on it and got my video banned. I fought for the video to get be reloaded, and they allowed me to, put it out. They allowed me to publish it, but initially, a lot of people were being very, very quiet, and even now, whistleblowers are being fired from their jobs and harassed and threatened, and some people are even disappearing because they don't want everybody to know what's going on with this virus. They don't want people to know the extent of the dangers of the virus. If you want to skip the line, you can jump into the super chat like Chris did. What's up, Chris? Appreciate you. Samantha Williams, welcome to the channel. These are new members to the Willie D Live channel. Not subscribers, but actual members. Samantha Williams, Cassandra Lopez, welcome to level 1 and level 2. Absolutely. Deshaun E, I see you. Another new member, welcome to level 1. So I'm gonna jump right into it. If you, again, if you want to skip the line, you can jump into the super chat, and then that way you make sure that your message goes, your message is recognized. I am going to speak briefly, or as briefly as I can, about this coronavirus first, and then I'll come back to your comments. But Chris says, I sneezed 2 times in a row on Monday morning. I knew it was allergies, but my wife has made me sleep on the couch every night. Real talk, man. I was thinking the same thing. Like, typically if somebody sneezes or cough around you, you're not too threatened. You feel like if it happens, you just, you just kind of get out of the way as much as you can. And even if you did catch a cold, you don't think it's life-threatening. Now it's like, man, I'm getting the hell out of the way. I'm getting the hell out of the way. What's up, Samantha Williams? I see you. I see you. Bon Satch, welcome. New member, Bon Satch. Y'all say what's up to all of the new members to the channel. So I'm going in, fam. Remember, continue to leave your comments and engage. So here's where we are. Like right now, concern is very high about this coronavirus and the epidemic behind it in China and dozens of other countries. The number of people newly diagnosed every day with the illness has caused the virus. They're saying that the virus is in decline in the epicenter of Hubei province, China, though it is still high. So what I want to do is answer some of the questions that people have about the virus. Let's start off with the obvious. What is the coronavirus? The new virus belongs to a family of viruses known as coronaviruses, named for the crown-like spikes on their surfaces. They infect mostly bats, pigs, and small mammals, but they mutate easily and can jump from animals to humans and from one human to another. In recent years, they have become a growing player in the infectious disease outbreaks world. 7 strains are known to infect humans, including this new virus, causing illnesses in the respiratory tract. 4 of those strains cause common colds. 2 others, by contrast, rank among the deadliest of human infections: severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARS, and Middle East respiratory syndrome, or MERS. Okay, what are the symptoms of the illness, and how do you know if you have it? This is very, very important. So, so as to protect yourself and get yourself some help if you suspect that you may be carrying the virus, or even to be able to identify it in the workplace, or even in your family, among your family members and friends. The virus infects the lower respiratory tract. Patients initially develop a fever, cough, and aches, and can progress to shortness of breath and complications from pneumonia, according to the case reports. They might develop nausea with the vomiting and diarrhea. Some become only mildly ill or infected but don't get sick. Others are mildly ill for a few days, then rapidly develop more serious symptoms and pneumonia. Some patients haven't had a fever initially or might develop walking pneumonia, meaning they might spread their infection to others because they aren't sick enough to be in a hospital. Who is at risk? Adults of all ages have been infected, but the risk is highest among older people and those with other health conditions such as diabetes. Most of the 1,023 people whose deaths are included in a study by the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention were age 60 or older and or had other illnesses. Many patients who have died were admitted to hospitals when their illness was advanced. Few children have been reported with the infection, but that could change. How at risk is someone in the US? This is the big question everybody woke up to this morning when they saw this all over the news. The current risk to the US public is low, they say. This is what the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says. There are very few cases in the US, and the virus isn't spreading widely. The majority of confirmed infections are in people who were infected while abroad and were quarantined upon their return to the US. But the agency says it expects the virus to spread more widely in the country and is preparing for that likelihood. Let me stop there for a minute real quick, family, because I got to address that. Listen, the role of the CDC and the government is always to downplay serious dangers. Like it's always they do this because they don't want people to panic. And I understand that, because it's not wise to panic under any circumstances in life. When you panic, you make mistakes. So the idea here should not be to panic, but please be alert, family. Be seriously alert. If you have to be paranoid, because it is better to be paranoid than dead. How is the virus spread among humans? It is likely spread through cough, sneeze, or other contact with saliva. Chinese officials said this. There is no evidence of transmission by aerosol or through the air. MERS and SARS spread mainly through respiratory droplets produced when someone coughs or sneezes. Those 2 viruses spread mostly through close contact. Scientists are also investigating whether the new coronavirus may spread in feces, as tests have found it in the digestive tract of some patients. What is the incubator period? Meaning that how long does it take after you contracted do you suspect that you have it, or that you realize that you're infected? People become ill between 2 and 14 days after infection, according to the US CDC. Chinese researchers recently cited an average incubation period of 5.2 days. So in about 5 days in China, people people are realizing that they got it, and it's going down. Is there a test? Public health officials have developed and are distributing diagnostic tests, which are being used to confirm whether a patient has the new coronavirus or another infection. In Hubei province, cases are also being diagnosed based on chest x-rays and symptoms. Scientists are working on a blood test to detect antibodies to the virus to determine how many people in the population have been infected. Some may have not gotten sick. Okay, this is a question that I saw in the chat. Can face masks protect you? Health experts and mask makers say only a properly used N95 respiratory mask certified by an independent agency can guard against the virus. Paper or polyurethane foam masks don't filter out smaller particles responsible for transmitting infectious agents. They may help prevent sick people from transmitting to others. What else can I do to protect myself? The most important thing you can do is wash your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds each time. Wash them when you come home, before you eat, and other times that you are touching surfaces. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. Viruses can enter your body that way. Wipe down objects and surfaces with household cleaner. Maintain a distance from the people who are sick. How easily does the new virus spread? This is very important. Disease modeling experts have estimated that on average, each infected person has transmitted the virus about 2.6 others to about 2.6 others, though the range is between 1.5 and 3.5. Those rates are higher than from some influenza viruses. Some are lower than SARS, and they are far lower than measles, in which one infected person can transmit the virus to 12 to 18 other people. Public health experts caution that these estimates are preliminary, change over time, and can be lowered by measures to prevent the virus from spreading. Let's see, can you catch the virus from someone? Oh, this is a good one. Can you catch the virus from someone even before they have symptoms? It is possible, but little is known so far. Okay, it's answering some of these questions y'all had. Somebody said, how dangerous is the new coronavirus? It appears to be less deadly than a related pathogen SARS, which erupted in China in 2002 and spread globally in 2003. SARS killed about 10% of the people infected, while about 2.9% of the people confirmed to be infected with this new coronavirus has died, according to the World Health Organization data. But the new virus spreads from one person to another more easily than SARS. Some disease modeling and case studies suggest that. Is the virus mutating, particularly in a way that would make it more contagious? No. The virus has remained stable genetically thus far, according to the World Health Organization and the US CDC. I'll pause for a minute. I'm gonna tell you, family, straight up. Here's why I don't trust that information, because I don't trust who's giving it, right? And the reason why I don't trust the CDC is because these are the same people that allow these people to put all of these chemicals in our foods that they know are killing us. They're allowing people to use hormone alternating agents in our food and our water supply. I just don't trust them. And I think it's very important that we do our own research. We have to protect ourselves, and we can take some information that they give us as base, and then we use that information to basically to weaponize ourselves against this thing. You know, this virus is very deadly. People, don't play with it. Don't think because it's in China. It's not just in China anymore. It's in the United States. So far, they have 80 confirmed cases. This is what they're publicly saying, that they have 80 confirmed cases. But I'm telling you, I do believe that number is way higher. How worried should I be? This is going to add to the point that I just made. Most people who are infected may become only mildly ill. Data suggests of the 44,672 cases in China, 81% had mild symptoms, 13.8 were severely ill, and 4.7 were critically ill, according to the Chinese CDC. All of those who have died were in critical condition. Well, that makes sense, because before you can be in critical condition, you got to be in mild, you got to have some mild symptoms, right? You got to be in not so critical condition. Oh man, I read between the lines. Let's see. Is it safe to travel to China? This is a common sense one to me. I damn sure wouldn't be going to China. It says that the US State Department has warned Americans not to travel to China. Most commercial airlines have suspended or reduced flights to and from China. Americans who remain in China should stay home as much as possible, limit contact with others, and follow guidelines from the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to prevent infection, US authorities say. Hey man, they ain't got to tell me that. If I know somebody is around the corner and it's a shootout, why would I walk around the corner? China is the epicenter of the disease. Why the hell would I go to China? Some things is common sense, but you know, they have to say that because everybody ain't got common sense. Is it safe to go on a cruise? The US State Department has urged Americans to consider cruises to or within Asia, given the risk of infection and of being subjected to a lengthy quarantine. They're actually suggesting that people reconsider those cruises. If you have plans to travel to or within Asia, they're asking you to fall back. Don't go. Are there drugs to treat coronavirus? There aren't any drugs or vaccines approved specifically for the new virus, but several are in development and are being studied. 2 clinical trials in China are evaluating, and that was all just, okay. So they're evaluating some drugs that were tested for Ebola. Could goods imported from China, this is a good question. Well, let me address this one first. What is being done to contain the virus, the spread of the virus? China imposed quarantines on Wuhan, the epicenter of the outbreak, and several other cities, affecting millions of citizens. Officials built a large field hospital in Wuhan to isolate and care for patients and are investigating chains of transmissions. It isn't clear what effect the quarantine measures are having. The US imposed entry restrictions on foreign nationals who have visited China in the past 14 days. Most international airlines suspended flights from China. Americans who were evacuated from Hubei province and a cruise ship where an outbreak occurred have undergone or are undergoing quarantine for 14 days. Could goods imported from China carry the virus? That is unlikely, the CDC says. Coronavirus generally don't survive long or inanimate surfaces, according to the agency. And That's a nutshell, fam. That's a good rundown. Let me see what you guys are saying. Go over to the super chat, then I work my way over to the regular chat. Let's see what y'all saying. The gas giants, what's up, what's up, what's up? He said Trump act like he don't care. He don't. Can you imagine Trump caring about anything other than something that affects him directly? Trump is a germaphobe already. So, he just be like this anyway. And then he'll just walk around with a bunch of people surrounded by him, and and he'll probably like put on one of those hats from back in the day that the McDonald's people used to wear. And he'll probably have a little mask on, and they'll probably give him some double meat cheeseburgers and pizza to sniff. And he'll probably just hold it. He'll probably insist on sniffing double meat cheeseburgers and pizzas as he walk around and do his business. That dude don't care, man. I mean, I don't understand why it's so hard for people to realize that. What's up, Michelle Harper? I see you. I see you. They made it in Canada. You think? Watch what happens says they made it. They made the virus in Canada. Oh, I did fail to mention a valuable detail about this coronavirus. I meant to give you guys the numbers, what these numbers are looking like. So right now they have 20 vaccines that are in development worldwide. This is according to the World Health Organization, WHO. And so far, there have been more than 83,300 confirmed cases of coronavirus across the world, and at least 2,858 deaths, the vast majority in China. Family, if they're reporting 2,858 deaths, know that it's probably more like 28,000. If they're reporting it's 83,000 confirmed cases, know that it's more like at least 1 million. They're gonna always underreport the numbers. I don't trust the numbers. And plus the numbers are going up every day anyway. So by the time that I report these numbers, the number's gonna be higher anyway, no matter what. These numbers are going up, they're not going down. Samantha Williams says we need to stop eating that food anyway. Okay, Tone B says, keep your hands sanitized at all times, be it at the gas pump and carts at the grocery store. Oh man, those carts and gas pumps, talk about filthy. Just imagine, I see people using them gas pumps all the time, and they don't wash their hands. Well, then you know what? I don't know, because when I get in the car, I usually open the door and I'll hit my sanitizer, and then I get in the car. But yeah, those gas pumps and those carts, grocery store carts, are filthy. Imagine people, if somebody has a cold, they sneeze or whatever, they're gonna grab the handles of that cart. The baskets too. Anything really you're touching publicly, the door handles, doors, anything. You gotta keep your hands clean. and keep your hands away from your face. Because as they said, those agents the virus agents can get into your nose, can enter your body through your nose, your mouth, or your eyes. So keep your hands away from your face as much as possible. Here's an interesting comment. Who is it? Sonia G says, the Trump trade war stopped the food supply to China from the US. Chinese will feed themselves, and bats, where the virus come from, is on the menu in Wuhan province. Trump owns this epidemic. What y'all think about that? The Trump trade war stopped the food supply to China. What's up, Cassandra Lopez? Everybody welcomes Cassandra to the channel. Level 1 member. Michael says, is it possible that the virus has already been released in America already and don't know it? We don't know it. Don't forget the Tuskegee experiment. Yeah, that virus is here, baby. Over 80 confirmed cases so far. Publicly, over 80 confirmed publicly released cases. Public cases confirmed so far. So right now, what's up, Samantha? Samantha Williams. Right now, this virus is like, it's spreading like, and people dropping like this. It's worse than when AIDS hit. Remember how people was like, yeah, when it first happened, people were so slow to respond. They were very slow to respond. And a lot of people didn't respond because they thought it was just exclusively a gay issue. They thought it was a gay male issue. And then heterosexuals started to get it. And people just died left and right, and they got serious. They finally got serious. The government was very, very slow to respond to that epidemic. It appears to me that governments are responding faster to this one because they're seeing people get it and drop dead within a few weeks. People are just standing on the street like this, and all in China, you look in China, people just standing up and boom. So people are kind of freaking out, but still, I still don't believe that all of these governments are taking that virus that serious. And, you know, I can tell you, like in America has to experience tragedy before they see something like fix something. You can see something wrong. You can, like, we can see the train wreck about to happen, but we'll sit back and let it happen first. And then we want to try to fix it. Case in point, anytime there's a street sign, well, not anytime, but oftentimes, a street sign, like a stop sign or a yield or a light, a signal light goes up on a corner at an intersection or whatever. Oftentimes, several wrecks or near wrecks will happen. It's not until a fatality happens that you see the signal light go up the next day. The next day, they're digging it, boop, 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 signal light. But they've had all of those near accidents and reported, and people call and say, hey, I need to put a signal light up here. Yeah, we need a signal light. We need a stop sign. We need something. They don't do it until somebody gets killed. Being reactive instead of proactive. Lewis said you have to keep Lysol with you all the time. The Emperor says, the US does this every year, cause mass fear and panic with some new virus. Scratching my head. Statistically, it's no worse than the flu. Shit, I ain't buying that, bro. Hell no. I ain't downplaying this. This is serious. I promise you, family, thousands of people are going to die in America. Thousands of people are going to die from this virus in America before they get a handle on it. I promise you. This thing is serious. Michael Doran believes that this is a depopulation agenda. Evolve says, I'll tell you one thing. One way to keep yourself safe is to buy mostly canned goods and other non-perishable food items and plenty of water so it can keep you in your house from the public. What about if you got a job and you got to get out of the house to go do it? Canned goods. You're gonna kill yourself eating those canned goods with all those preservatives in it. Boy, I tell you, boy, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Shanette says, you know what's strange? No Black person has caught the virus. I'm not sure about that, but if they haven't, they're gonna catch it. That's guaranteed. Serena Santiago, she says she just dropped in. I don't think they are telling us everything we should know. They're not telling us everything we should know. That's my point. They're not telling us everything we should know about this virus. They're trying to downplay the virus. They're trying to act like it's not that big of a deal, right? It's like it's a big deal, but it's not that big of a deal. So want to I guess the main thing about this virus that you need to know is what the risk is, and you know how to know if you have the virus, and what to do if you do have it, and even how to protect yourself from the virus. So And it also talks about who's mostly at risk are older people who may have already have some type of illness, like diabetes or whatever. The Center for Disease Control says that children are not likely are not highly susceptible to get to the disease, but that could change. How at risk are someone in the United States? The current risk in the US public is low. That's what they say. I wouldn't put any money on it. How is the virus spread among humans? Through cough, sneeze, or other contact with saliva. I guess there was some misinformation out there about it being spread through the transmission of aerosol. That is false. Aerosol or through the air. They're saying that there is no evidence of that. So not necessarily that it's false. They're just saying right now they don't have any evidence of it being spread through aerosol or through the air. The incubation period. People become ill between 2 and 14 days after being infected. On average in China, it is 5 days. There is there a test? Public health officials have developed and are distributing diagnostic tests, which are being used to confirm whether a patient has the new coronavirus or another infection. Now in California, there is a case of a woman who has been infected. California has a couple of hundred kits right now, they need way more than that. They actually need thousands of kits. California is a big state. They need thousands of test kits. And we need thousands of test kits around millions of test kits around this country. So this is important. Can a face mask protect you? The health officials, experts say that only a properly used reusable N95 respiratory mask certified by an independent agency can guard against the virus. Paper or polyurethane foam masks don't filter out small particles responsible for transmitting infectious agents. So keep that in mind. If you're going to wear a mask, just having a mask over your face alone is not going to do it. You're going to need a certified mask. You're going to need an N95 respirator mask. That's what you need. N95 respirator mask. Those paper masks and polyurethane masks won't get it. So what else you can do to protect yourself? The most important thing you can do is wash your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds each time. Wash them when you come home, before you eat, and other times that you are touching surfaces. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. Viruses can enter your body that way. Wipe down objects and surfaces with household cleaner. Maintain a distance from people who are sick. Someone said earlier in the chat that he came home, he was coughing. I think he said he was coughing or sneezing, and his wife was like, "Hey, sleep on the couch." Mama ain't taking no chances. So it says, how worried should you be? Most people are infected, may become only mildly ill. Of the 44,672 cases in China, 81% had mild symptoms, 13.8% were severely ill, and 4.7% were critically ill. All those who died were in critical condition. 4.7% is a lot if you fall in that category. It's not safe to travel through to China. Some things should be common sense, but as y'all know, common sense ain't so common these days. It is not safe to travel to China. It is not safe to go on a cruise. Y'all got plans to go on those cruises? I would say eat the money. Whatever money that you got out there, cut it off, take your losses. If you can get something back, get some refund back, get it back. But I wouldn't take any chance. I just wouldn't do it. I'm glad I don't have to fly anywhere right now, anytime real soon. I mean, a couple of weeks I got to move around, but maybe they'll take some precautions by then before I have to walk through these airports. But man, airports are nasty too. Airplanes are nasty. People be on those airplanes doing all kinds of stuff, and then you're in close proximity. Somebody sneeze. If you're on an airplane and somebody sneeze, you out of here. Somebody got that virus and they cough or sneeze and you on an airplane, even if you're sitting behind them or in front of them or across the aisle, you're in trouble. But if you're sitting right next to them, you're really in trouble. There are no drugs to treat the virus at this time. Keep that in mind, fam. There are no drugs to treat the virus at this time. They are working on them. There are no drugs. The Sim Girl 1, my brother lives in Hong Kong. He's been telling the fam to stock up on masks before they jack up the prices. He also started an indoor garden. That's a good idea. Ooh-wee, man. Jig is up says, what if work in the hospital? I guess you're trying to say, what if I work in the hospital? If you work in the hospital, listen to your handle. The jig is up. That's scary. That's scary. If I worked in a hospital right now, I'm taking all my sick days. I'm taking every sick day I got. Man, look here, man. I'm already sick. I'm taking off the next 60 days. Power my 6 days. I don't even know how 6 days work. I ain't worked for a company since I was 18. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how 6 days work. I know you can, like, how many 6 days was, I guess different companies have different amount of sick days. But man, I feel for people that work in these hospitals, because you have to help the sick. That's what you do. Now, helping the sick, you mess around and kill yourself and you get sick. You get sick and end up killing yourself, trying to help somebody else. I want to look at these numbers again. Looking at the numbers again, so far there have been more than 83,300 confirmed cases of coronavirus across the world, and at least 2,858 deaths, the vast majority in China. I'll say it again, family. If they're saying 2,858 deaths, I bet you that number is closer 28,000. And if they're saying that it's 83,300 confirmed cases, I bet you that number is closer in the millions. What they don't want people to do is panic, and rightfully so. You don't want people to panic, but at the same time, you have to let people know how serious this virus is. This virus is serious. And I can promise you, thousands of people in the US will die from it. I'm telling you. Don't underestimate this virus. Remember, we have a precedent for this. AIDS. Remember when AIDS hit? For those of you who knew, who were alive when AIDS first hit, and people thought it was a gay male thing, so a lot of people just didn't even care. Then heterosexuals started getting it, women started getting it, and then they got serious. But it took a while. A lot of unnecessary deaths occurred because government officials dragged their feet on the virus. Remember, family, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the US, let me know what country you're representing. Kashawn Simmons says, name me one Black person that has this. Name me one white person that has it, Kashawn. I'm just being facetious. Look, I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't name you one person, period, who has it. But I can tell you this. This virus is not race specific. You jump out there and think it couldn't get you, and you're gonna mess around and be laid up in the hospital. You mess around, I'm giving you the information, and the information is out there for you to research, for you to protect yourself, take precautions. Better safe than sorry. You know, I wouldn't ignore something like this. I'm seeing people just dropping like flies. And the virus is in the US. There are at least 80 confirmed cases that the CDC is willing to share with the public. At least. If they say 80, I'm thinking that number is closer to 1,000. Take precaution. I'm telling you. Better safe than sorry. Them damn diseases don't discriminate. Illness don't discriminate. Viruses don't discriminate. You ain't got one person that's immune to a virus that, you know, one gender, ethnic group that's immune to a virus that could affect another, that could kill another. Mess around and get your head knocked off out there, you know, trying to downplay this virus. This virus is serious. Look at that. Triple Darkness says Nigeria reported its first case. And places like Nigeria, well, not necessarily Nigeria, because Nigeria is a rich country, but some of those countries that don't have as much resources as far as money, they're gonna get hit real hard. Some of the countries in Africa are going to get hit real hard because they're going to be very, very slow to get those kits over there, to get those test kits over there, and to get that antidote. They're going to be very slow. And they're also saying that now the person that's in California that has the virus, they don't know how that person contracted the virus. They can't identify the source of how they contracted the virus. They don't know if they contracted it from a person or they touched something or what. They don't know. So what does that tell us? That tells us that this virus is now a community virus, meaning that you don't have to travel to China to get it. It's in the community. You can get it from anywhere. I'm telling y'all better wake the hell up. I'm telling you. I better stop playing. This virus is serious. And I'm not one of them dudes that panic about things. But I'm gonna take precautions. I'll be careful. But y'all better wake up. In fact, I would rather you panic than to be nonchalant about this. I would rather you panic. Paul Cannon says, I expect it to be really bad in Israel. They need to get out of our country. The seal has been broken. The angel of death is on his horse. Ride, brother, ride. Slaughter the wicked. All righty then. Watch Contagion. The movie is exactly what's happening now. And that movie came out years ago. Yeah, well, you know, oftentimes movies are a precursor to reality. I almost think that some of these officials and stuff be working with these Hollywood producers like, look, this is what's coming down the pipeline. I'll sell it to you. Give me $1 million and I'll give you the story. Now you go out there and now it looks like you're an innovator. It looks like you're a visionary because you were talking about this stuff 10 years before it happened, 20 years before it happened. You got a movie about it. I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't think these Hollywood producers and stuff are just making this stuff up out of their heads. So Cool One says, those masks won't stop you from getting this man-made virus. Mojo says, please be advised there's more than one strain of the coronavirus. Triple Darkness says, coronavirus has been around for years, but they're saying this is mutated, which is new, so it's not effective. Chad, I see you, North Dakota in the building. What's up, Michael Duran? Austin in the building. Actually, that's Michael Doran. I said Duran. I see you, Martina Walker, Florida, Fort Lauderdale. H-Town in the building. Sonia G. Richard Dean, Philadelphia. John Lester, Detroit. Quentin Brown, Charlotte, North Carolina. Steve Washington, Oklahoma City. Anita Williams, North Carolina. Project Chick, Chicago. Mission 33, Los Angeles. Good Tea Food, what's up? Alicia Rocket, Memphis, Tennessee. Kathy B, Las Vegas. Fly Till I Die, Oakland, California. GLU, is that G-Love 291, Delaware. Absolutely. I see the Woodlands, Texas in the building. CT, appreciate you. Real Fireman, New Orleans. Viola Brown, Florida. See Flint, Michigan in the building. Meek and Mild. Black Bull Music, Baltimore. Real Talk, St. Louis. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Joetic. Queen of Attraction, Brooklyn, what's up? New York back to back, George, Gregory Reynolds, Staten Island. Oracle, Dallas, Texas. Sydney Smith, Washington. Seattle, Washington. Sugar Tea, Falls. Texas in the building. Norfolk. Thomas B. Y'all saying anything in this chat? The question is, do y'all trust Mike Pence to contain the virus? Doobie De Niro says, salute to the OG. What's up, Mo City? King Rick says, I still got your first and second CD. That's what's up, King. Appreciate you. Danny Davis, Sacramento in the building. Salute. Absolutely. Bringing the truth. Salute. I see Columbus, Ohio in here. Ricardo Williams, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Cynthia Wilcox says 8,700 test kit in California right now at all hospital California because travel nurse on phone. Okay. Okay, it seems like they're trying to move to do something. I think this virus is going to be worse than AIDS. It's already showing itself like with people dropping. Look, these cases that we're seeing right now, this is just what we're seeing right now. This is what they're showing. But people didn't just start dropping dead 3 months ago. People been dropping dead for years. It's just that I believe that it's gotten out of control now. And like it's rapid and the cameras are on. Remember, China is a dictatorship. And when people tried to blow the whistle on this early on, they had their lives threatened. They had the national security tell them, back off, shut your mouth. And one of the doctors actually backed off. One of the ones who tried to ring the alarm early on backed off, and he messed around and caught the virus. And he died a few days later, but before he died, he started talking again. And then he died. People are dying like this. AIDS usually would take time in the early stages. It would take times, well, HIV would take time before it developed into, you'd get the virus first before you actually get full-blown AIDS. You would get the HIV virus, and it would progress over time. People are getting this virus, and they're dropping dead within days. This is gonna, I hope I'm wrong, but I think that this is going to be worse than AIDS. I hope like hell I'm wrong. I hope like hell I'm wrong, because AIDS devastated communities all around the world. AIDS took out a lot of people before they got a hold of the virus, before they got a grip on it. It took a lot of people out. Took one of my friends out. Oh man, I went to see him in the hospital. He used to tour with us, Kevin Johnson from Fifth Ward. See that dude? I mean, he was like just skin and bones, and he was a big dude. Man, that AIDS got a hold to him, man. He vanished. Devastating. So I saw that up close in person. I saw that. Damn. Family, I'm gonna give a few more shout outs. Thomas B, I see y'all saying anything in this chat. I see you, Thomas B. Ahavia, how do you say that? Ahavia? Ahavia. You know what I'm trying to say. Danny Davis, what's up? Appreciate you. Yeah, fam. Don't take this information for granted. Protect yourself. Stay away from people that are sick. People got colds and stuff like that. Get out of the way. You see somebody sneezing and coughing, get out of the way. Keep your hands clean. Keep your hands clean. Keep your hands away from your face, your eyes, your mouth, your nose, because those agents, the virus agents can get into your body that way. I have to say it again, do not travel to China under any circumstances. If you have trips to go on a cruise, if you have plans to go on a cruise, don't go. If you lose your money, it's better than losing your life. Don't go. These deaths that have been reported so far, the cases where people have been diagnosed with the disease, I do believe is underreported. I think it's well underreported as to not alarm people and make them panic. Be very careful. This is going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better. I wish that I wish like hell, I hope like hell I'm wrong. But I think this is going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better. They are working on a drug to counter this drug, to counter this virus, but so far, nothing. Nothing. There are no vaccines at the moment, family. No vaccines. They're saying that so far, goods imported from China, they have no evidence that those goods would carry the virus. And that is because coronaviruses generally don't survive long inanimate surfaces. This is according to the agency. If you're going to wear a mask, they're suggesting that you use reusable N95 respirator mask, certified by an independent agency to guard against the virus. It has to be an N95 respirator mask. So don't just go in the store and just say, give me some of those masks. You know, just grabbing regular old mask. It has to be an N95 respirator mask. Remember that, N like Nancy 95 respirator mask. Just trying to make sure I covered everything before I shut it down. And they're saying that the risk in the US is low right now. Don't believe that. I would not believe that. I would not believe that. They're saying that there are very few cases in the US and the virus isn't spreading widely. That's a lie. They got a virus over there. This is the US map. They got virus on the East Coast, virus on the West Coast, virus on the North, virus in the South. And it's going to go like this. The virus is widespread, family. I'm telling you. And it's going to get more concentrated in these communities as the days go by. And it's spreading rapidly. That's the thing. They don't have a cure. They don't have a cure. So there's nothing to stop. There's no vaccine to stop the virus from spreading. The only thing that can be done at this moment is for us to change our behavior. You know, try to stay away from people that are sick, avoid people that are coughing and sneezing, wash your hands as often as you can. Do not touch public surfaces, including doors, elevator, buttons. I saw a video I shared on my Instagram, which is Willie D Live, the same as this channel. I shared it on my Instagram, and there was a lady spitting on the elevator buttons, just and spreading it, just white, you know, this was in China. Spitting on the buttons and rubbing it on the buttons. And then a guy came in the elevator and did the same thing. So these people got these, I don't know if these people are working for the government or whatever, or they just got it and they're just these diabolical people. Either way, they are diabolical no matter what, but they're just some diabolical person who has the disease and feel like they may die and want everybody else to die. Kind of like people who have AIDS, they want to try to go out and spread it to other people and kill other people. Well, there are some real life lowlifes in this world. You got to combat aviation, sociopaths. That's what they would be called, sociopaths. What's up, Stormy? Appreciate you, Stormy B, man. From the Shy, with respect. So that's what's up, family. I thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, y'all be careful, man. Be careful out there. Protect yourself, protect your families. Call your loved ones and your friends and make sure that they're hip to what's going on with this coronavirus. Give them a warning. Let them know what's going on. Don't just get the information and save it for yourself. Share the information with your family and your friends, the people that you care about. Talk to your coworkers. Sometimes, even if you don't like your coworker, it would behoove you to inform your coworker, because y'all share common spaces. And the cleaner your coworker is, the cleaner your work environment is, the safer you are. So be careful. Yeah, so that's it, family. Be very, very careful out there. Until next time, I appreciate y'all again, once again. Enjoy your weekend. No more talk.